Hello and welcome to Monday's programme.
Coming up tonight between now and 6:30.
Good evening. There are warnings over the dangers of strong rip currents tonight after two teenagers had to be rescued in St Agnes. The boys were spotted being swept out to sea at Trevornance Cove on the West Cornwall coast.
The daughter of an off-duty RNLI manager raised the alarm and her father swam out to them until a lifeboat appeared. Well, Steve Hardy is in St Agnes for us this evening. Steve, a lucky escape for these two teenagers.
And Steve, very well done to young Brooke there, but I understand you've actually had first experience with Steve in your report there of the dangers of rip currents as well.
Steve, just how easy it is to get caught out in a rip current. But this wasn't the only incident this weekend, was it, off the Cornish coast? A fisherman was bitten by a shark. Just tell us more about that. Thank you very much for that. Next tonight, bereaved families in Teignmouth have been reunited with their loved ones' ashes after a disgraced former funeral director failed to hand them over for more than a decade.
Robert Loveridge has already been jailed for stealing thousands of pounds from charity donations that he collected after funerals. But now the ashes of 76 people have been found at his former company offices. Richie Lawrence has been speaking to one of the families affected. Next on this evening's programme, wildlife experts say it's a tragedy that a colony of breeding kittiwake birds appear to have been lost from an area of the South Devon coast.
The population of the gulls has been declining for years, but not a single pair has built a nest on the cliffs at Berry Head this season, and it's feared they may never return. Bob Cruz reports.
And you're watching ITV News with Kylie and Jonty this Monday evening. Thanks for choosing us. Still plenty more to come on the programme before 6:30, including It's Still All to Play For.
But next tonight, this week, thousands of pupils across the region will be sitting down to their GCSE exams. Remember how stressful that can be? Well, one school has asked parents to help ease the tension.
Yes, they were asked to write their child a letter beforehand, which was then handed to pupils at a special assembly. And it seemed the words of encouragement went down well, as Ken Goodwin now reports.
Oh, how lovely was that?
Very sweet, yeah. Best of luck to everyone doing their GCSEs.
How nice to put it down in a card. I like that. Let's bring you some more news from around the region now. And South West Water has been ordered to pay more than £70,000 after failing to maintain sewage plants on the South Devon coast. Exeter Crown.
One of the wealthiest men in the South West has invested £24 million into the Goonhilly station on the Lizard Peninsula. Now, it could be a good few days for Exeter's rugby and football sides. This time next week, Exeter Chiefs could be preparing for a Twickenham final and Exeter City could be making plans for Wembley.
The Grecians players trained today ahead of the second leg of their League Two playoff tie with Lincoln. The side will go into Thursday night's match at St James Park with it all still to play for after the first leg finished 0-0, as Jeff Welsh now reports.
Now, the word 10 Tours is infamous for many secondary school pupils right across the southwest, with 400 teams from right across the region taking part in the two-day trek over Dartmoor at the weekend.
Well, the challenge organised by the British Army involves gruelling hikes of between 35 and 55 miles and is still considered to be the largest event of its kind. Well, Nick Smith was there for us right across the weekend, including an early start on Saturday morning. Well, we can catch up with some of those who took part in the 10 Tours this weekend.
Yes, pupils were back in lessons at Wellington School in Somerset today. David Woodland is with them now. David, how are they just a day after completing that trek then? Photo there, yeah.
And actually, he's not alone because you did it as well.
I did it as well. Not in the 70s, obviously.
No.
But yeah, I completed the 45
Have a look
mile
on Jonty's Twitter. You can see him looking young and happy.
Still now, obviously. Bob's here with the forecast. Bob, what a beautiful weekend for 10 Tours. What a beautiful day today as well.
Do you know?
Bob, thanks very much. And just before we go, here's a quick reminder of the main headlines here in the West Country this evening. There are warnings.
That brings us to the close of this evening's programme. I'll be back with the late news at the usual time of 10:30.
But now I'll hand you to Mary Nightingale as the ITV News continues. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.